Welcome to our podcast, No Small Talk.
Is too big.
I'm Miss, and
I'm Vanessa.
It's been a couple of weeks since we uploaded a podcast. The last 2 weeks we recorded one each week, and we had technical
difficulties, yeah.
Hopefully this time it works. Third time's a charm.
Yeah. Well, I think with everything, there's just like a learning process.
Yeah.
And, when you're starting something new, that's always the thing you're afraid of, or at least I am. I'm thinking, there's so many things I need to learn and do, but, you just cross that bridge when you get there.
Yeah. I know this is all interesting getting set up for this because behind the scenes kind of work is what I wanted to do initially.
Mm-hmm.
Like work behind the scenes on like a TV set or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that whole landscape is kind of what I came from in the music area.
That's cool.
Which behind the scenes, I've kind of been both behind the scenes and on camera.
Yeah.
And I loved behind the scenes. It's really quite fun. But it can be finicky, trying to get everything just right. And then you go back and look at it and it's like, oh shoot, we have to redo it again. Like, it's just so common, and chords and things and figuring everything out. But yeah, we'll get it figured out.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We got kind of a background.
Yeah, we do. I like
a little
that.
Bit.
That was really creative. I like that.
I was at Desert Hills last two weekends actually, and I wanted to get they have little plants like cacti and I don't know, other small nice looking little plants like aloe vera plants and stuff.
Yeah.
Fern plants. I wanted to grab a couple.
Yeah, for
the setting, but
actually I went to Desert Hills the other day too. That was really nice.
So much fun. It stinks. They're
the
farm animals.
The kids love
their
the
little
goats.
donkeys are the cutest thing ever. Their little
so
asses.
Little asses.
But their ice cream is so yum.
They have so many different options.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
Both times I went there, I got one scoop, and it was huge.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah, it's so huge. They didn't skimp out on it, that's
No.
for sure. I had to tell them to just put just a little bit for the toddler, because I knew she couldn't eat that much.
Yeah.
But
Jesus, I can't even finish a whole one scooper. He was scooping it, and like halfway through, I'm like, okay, that's good. And he just kept going. I'm like, that's good.
They're
that's good.
No habla English. It's like,
quit
it. That's enough. Benito.
Yeah.
No, I ended up eating a lot of different flavored ice creams at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't finish
your
it all.
kids?
Yeah, they couldn't finish them. Here, Mom, I can't finish this. I'm like, I ended up having to throw out some. I just couldn't eat it all. I was like, gonna get sick if I did.
Yeah.
But man, the grapes were such a good price. I got, those grapes were just so tasty.
Mm-hmm.
And they were only $2 a pound.
Yep. It's super cheap there, too. They grow all their own stuff, and it's so good. I got the small little watermelons from there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't try those.
They're so good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, what else did I get? I got a bag of avocados for $2.50, so 6 for $2.50.
Nice.
And what was the other thing I got? I can't remember. The kids were wanting jackfruit, because we'd gotten jackfruit, the big.
Those are those ones that have the little eyes on them.
Spikies.
That's so creepy. They're at the end of the aisle. And
they have them now?
Yeah, I was cruising through the aisles, and they're big and green, right?
Yeah, and they're spiky kind of. Yeah. Oh, good, they're there, because when I went, they didn't have them.
I came across them, and I was like, oh my God, it's the creepiest thing ever. I'll submit a picture here, but they just look like little tiny eyes all over. And this thing is huge. It's bigger than a watermelon.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And they'll cut off smaller amounts. So you don't have to buy the whole thing.
Oh, I see.
But since my dad's from Southeast Asia, I grew up eating all kinds of weird kinds of fruits.
Yeah.
There's a dessert that's very common. It's called halo halo, which is or mix, and it's like essentially crushed ice and all different kinds of fruits in syrup.
Ooh.
And they even do little red beans in a syrup, and then they pour condensed milk on top of all of it, and it's just a mix of whatever you want to put in it, and it's the absolute amazing. And they'll even put ice cream, like for example there's a purple yam that they use to make what's called ube, and then they make ice cream out of that, and you can put it in there too, and it's just like amazing. But I grew up like eating all kinds of weird looking tropical fruits. Like my dad would be like, oh, try this.
Try this.
But for the most part, I liked all of it. I hate durian. Like some people love durian. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
It is like it's you're not even allowed to take it into like certain hotels because it smells so bad.
Oh,
it smells
wow.
like rotten compost.
Oh my
like
God.
It's disgusting. And it tastes like compost that's like garlicky or something. I don't know. That's what it tasted like to me.
Yeah.
Was not for me. But it's difficult to find sometimes, and if you do, like, but yeah, it's called durian. But yes, Southeast Asia has a lot of like interesting fruits that probably most people haven't seen. Even to this day, still, come across fruit. I'm like, what? That's a thing.
Interesting. No, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I'm glad to know Desert Hills has jackfruit, because I'm gonna go back and get some. The kids were really wanting some. So.
Yeah, I was there on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, Jen and I went on Friday, and she went there for squash. She wanted
There's lots of squash. Yeah.
No wait.
Spaghetti squash.
No.
Kombucha.
No.
Kombucha.
No. I put it in my soup. No. It's green.
Oh, green.
The outside is green. Oh my God.
And it's a squash. Zucchini.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
She
She went there for zucchini, and they had everything but.
Oh, they
I'm
didn't
like,
have
usually,
any.
yeah. I'm like, usually their
Oh.
zucchini are freaking huge.
Yeah.
But they didn't have any.
Yeah. Well, nothing's really fully grown yet, so.
To the listeners, I challenge you. I should have said this at the beginning, but I challenge you to count how many times you can say, "That's what she said."
That's what she said.
While we're talking.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
Without us actually saying it. Count how many times you can work that into the conversation.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious. And then comment on the video. How many times you caught her? That's what she said. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, also Peter. I came in this morning, or was it yesterday? He's like, "Hey, I got a nickname for you guys' podcast," and I was like, "What?" And it's like Cowboy Cigarettes. I was like, Cowboy Cigarettes? What the hell?
Yeah.
It's like, because you guys are unfiltered. I was like, oh. I was like, you have not seen anything yet.
Unfiltered. Oh, I love having discussions with Peter. The look on his face.
I know. His face gets just red, like as red as this box here. It's hilarious.
Well, it's just, it's funny. At least for me, growing up in a really sheltered home, there were so many things I just didn't know, was never talked about in my home. And so, like, as an adult, finding out certain things and whatever. But it's nice. I feel very comfortable, like, talking with you.
Clearly.
Actually, I saw something on Facebook about, like, oh, when you have that one friend that you just tell everything to. And I was like, oh, I like... At first, I was going to repost it and put you and Peter.
Yeah. I think I saw that one. It's something to do with like when your paths are supposed to cross, or your soul is supposed to cross, or something like that, and you feel super comfortable, like right off the bat.
Yeah. Without
that awkward phase or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
The awkward phase.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I love it.
So how was the last couple of weeks for you?
Actually,
I think it's been 3 weeks.
It's been 2-3 weeks since we posted, or maybe even 4, because you went and did RIM training.
Yeah.
Records information.
First was the youth conference.
Oh, the youth conference.
Yeah,
and records information management. Kind of recap from the ones that we did before.
Yeah.
And then you shared that information And I've like been absolutely just eating it up. Like who would have thought data was so interesting? Like,
Right?
oh wow, I'm so into this. But yeah, so I've been enjoying it. Yes, that's me. I'm such a nerd. I never used to be that I know of. Well,
It's good though. I'm glad that we have somebody like you on the team that's geeking out about all this kind of stuff, because I'm over it. Like, I've been in this industry for quite a while. Not in the industry, but in the office setting
Yeah.
for quite a while. And yeah, I'm just over it. Data in general is very interesting for sure. But when it comes to managing it, it's just like, get out of my brain.
I feel like it's very large and tedious.
It is.
Like,
there's so much to
yeah.
it that you just don't see. You don't think about.
No, well, I remember early on when I was younger and in the office working and feeling like, how in the world do I stay organized with all the files I create on a daily basis?
Yeah.
And then trying to find them and keep them organized. And creating these systems is just so important, and you don't even realize it until you've got an overload of it and you're just like overwhelmed with how to keep it and how do you keep it safe, and all of these things. So it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
I really feel like, and I've been working at SGS for like 3 years now, working with data, and the more and more I work with it, I'm just like, oh, we need a good system for like managing all of this. And from the legal aspect of it too, it's so important to have that RIM program in place in order for it to be admissible in court, or for it to just be completely accurate and usable. Because I mean, ultimately, for any business, you want to have usable information, and I think that's what it comes down to.
Oh God, yeah. Because if you can't, it's useless if you can't find it.
Yeah.
It's there, but you can't find it.
It could be the biggest cause of your stress too. And I mean, stress is a huge thing in life, but to have that kind of a cloud, it sometimes feels like this huge cloud of like, ooh, we have all this data and information and files.
Oh God, yeah.
It's just floating there. Like,
yeah. That's my brain on a daily.
Is it ADHD?
Yeah, I could be.
That's me.
I posted a video about messages from my mom the other day.
I love that. I watched it.
Yeah, and that just kind of reminded me of my attention span being short. Like, I can't just sit and be present or in the moment or whatever. Like, I have to be doing something. And I pretty much stopped watching TV because I just don't pay attention to it. I'm like on my phone, on reels, or talking, or whatever. There was one time over this past long weekend, that I actually sat on my bed and just watched a show. It's called Special Ops Lioness. Such a good show. I'm only like, it's on Netflix. I'm only like 3 episodes in, but such a good show.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
But yeah, my attention span is so bad. Like, we could be sitting here talking and I'm like, my brain is thinking about something else. Yeah.
Oh, completely understand. Although I would say I have a pretty good attention span, but I lose my train of thought so quickly.
Oh God, yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's here and then it's gone. But that's okay. I think we're all that way, especially the older we get.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll allow it.
Well, most of my like watching right now is like Toy Story and Despicable Me and kids shows.
Yeah.
We watch them over and over and over and over and over again.
There's a couple of new cartoons that I wanted to watch. Not even cartoons, they're Disney movies. Mufasa is one of them. I haven't seen that one yet. I can't remember what the other one was. It's an actual... Moana 2.
Moana. I watched that one.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
I don't really care for TV these days. Like, the shows that I watch on a regular are shows that I've already watched and rewatching them again.
Yeah,
Like the
because you know
Rookie.
you like them.
Yeah, the only one that I haven't seen yet is Fire Country.
Oh,
That's a new one that I'm watching while I'm like caught up on the episodes. But
I really got into Vikings.
Vikings.
Like a year, maybe it was 2 years ago actually now. I mean, for the most part, I watch little kids shows all the time these days, and I don't really have time for anything else.
Yeah.
But I had some time, like while I was on mat leave with Johnny, and I started watching the Vikings series, and I just like went whole hog into Vikings. And the main guy, Ragnar, whoever his, I don't remember the name of his actor, whatever. I was living in Hope at the time, and I was shopping at the grocery store, and I turned the corner and I came face to face with this construction worker that looked exactly like him.
Wow.
I just was like, wait a minute.
Is that
am I watching a movie?
Jason?
I don't know.
Jason. Oh my God, what's his last name? He's real hairy. He was the. Not Aquaman. Was it Aquaman?
Oh, you're thinking Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay. Am I thinking about a different TV show other than The Viking? Because there's another. The Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about.
I've never actually watched that one.
I got like 5 to 6 episodes in, and all it was people doing it everywhere.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, yeah, I'm if I want to watch porn, I'll just watch porn. I'm not going to sit here and watch a show.
Oh, so interesting. Yeah, his name's Travis Fimmel. Yeah. Let me see here.
But I was talking to my best friend Keith about it, and he said that once you get past like the first and second season, then it actually turns into ooh.
Yeah, like these blue eyes.
The eyes.
Yeah, and his big beard. This construction worker, crazy enough. And I felt super weird because when I ran it, like I turned the corner and I saw him, and I think I kind of startled like this, and he kind of looked at me like I was weird or something, and I didn't want to say anything. I almost did. I almost like, you look just like Ragnar Lothbrok on Vikings.
Yeah.
In fact, I've seen him in town here in Lillooet when I came back and went to Philo, and I was like, same guy again. What the heck? So weird, but I was too shy to like say anything. But he's probably gotten it before. Like, look like. But yeah. Anyways.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the female warriors were really interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
They were just. What would you say? They were fierce and they were smart. Like it was very everything they did was very
underestimated.
Yeah.
Typical.
Yeah, so whether or not that's historically how the women were back then, I don't know, but they knew how to fight from my understanding, which is like so foreign to me. Yeah. Like live in our society. Like everything's non-violent, whereas like everything in Viking was like violent.
I can't remember who I was talking to. One of my friends in the States. But they're like, you know how to protect yourself? And I'm like, I never had to. Yeah. I'm like, I live in Canada. Like, nothing happens here. I live on the reserve.
Like, hey, bud.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. Like, know everybody and say hi to absolutely everybody. And everybody's super nice. And I have a baton. I think that's what it's called. My ex got me a baton from one of the gas stations. It's like a small one. It's heavy AF, but that's in my truck. And then he also got me this Batman knife. It's got blades on either end.
Whoa.
I think that's so cool. I just want to like throw it at a tree or something.
Yeah.
But I did kickboxing like 10, 15 years ago or something like that.
If you needed to defend yourself, you could kick someone really well.
Maybe. I'm dancing my way into 42 this year, so.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay. So kickboxing, did you like that?
Oh, I loved it. It was such a huge stress reliever, and every time I got home, my adrenaline was just pumping.
Yeah, you felt so good.
Yeah, it felt amazing to beat the shit out of a heavy bag and and pads and stuff like that. It was so funny. Peter does kickboxing.
That's right,
When he first moved here, he was telling me about it. And I was like, I used to do kickboxing back in the day. And I was like, I went to a beginner class, and there was hardly anybody there. And this more advanced kickboxer, she needed somebody to hold her heavy bag for her.
Oh.
So I volunteered. I'm like, I know I'm going to get my ass kicked, but I'm in. And sure enough, she kicked that heavy bag, and I literally went flying into the wall.
You're so tiny too. My goodness.
And it was a cement wall, and my back, my tailbone was bruised the next day. That's how bad it was. It was insane, but it was also fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Like getting flown into a wall like that.
It was a fun sort of hurt.
My trainer, my instructor, she's like, "Are you good? Are you good?" I'm like, "I'm good." She's like, "Are you sure I can take over if you want?" I'm like, "Nope."
I can just see you pulling yourself up off the floor. I'm all good.
She's like, "Hold the bag." She was getting so mad at me because I wasn't able to hold the bag.
Oh no,
properly.
That's so tough. Well, actually, just talking about that and drop-in soccer, we had drop-in soccer yesterday, and we played at 5:30, and my daughter had a soccer game at 6 at Conway, and then Dawson had it at 7, so we stopped drop in early so he could go to his game. And some of them had to be there anyway. Like the one guy was the ref for the game. Small town.
Yeah.
Everybody does everything.
Yeah.
But we played and I scored 6 goals. I was so freaking proud of myself. But I got the ball right in the face, like this. And that feeling, your nose is just like throbbing, and I'm like, is it bleeding? And your eyes start watering.
Is it this big?
You're like, oh shoot, oh, this is it's my nose that big. But no, it was fine. I just have a bit of a headache and my nose hurts a little bit today. But it was fun. And again, I feel like sports are great that way. Because it builds resilience and discipline, and it's a good energy outlet for stress and everything. Yeah, keeps you young, and it's good to find something to do.
If I was to choose something today as a stress reliever, I have no idea what it would be. I mean,
maybe it's time to start kickboxing again.
Yeah, because they have it in town here, for sure. But I guess my stress reliever is gaming, for sure. Every day, it's a staple in my day. I have to game out every day. Every day. How many times have I said that? But before it was a way to cope with the grieving and depression, and it was something to look forward to. It was something that it just shut my mind off, and then made some friends back in the Cold War days, and just, I don't know, made me forget about absolutely everything. And little did I know that the trio that I had back then, all 3 of us were going through some really life-changing events in our life, and we had no idea until maybe 3 months after gaming consistently with each other. None of us talked about anything personal. It was all
just about the game.
Yeah, it was just about the game.
Yeah.
Just small talk, hey, how's it going? How's your weekend? Blah blah blah. And I don't even talk to them anymore. We've all 3 of us have pretty much gone our separate ways. But moving into Black Ops 6, I was just telling one of my friends the other day, I was like, I've got over 100 people on my friends list, and faithfully every day I probably only game with 5 of them, maybe 5 or 6 of them every day. But it's become more fun now. It's something that I really look forward to. Every day. It's not okay, I have to shut my mind off, so I'm going to game out.
Yeah.
Now it's every night I'm gaming with my friends. We have so much fun. We're just laughing, and
it becomes a support system.
Yeah.
Of people that you connect with.
Yeah.
And you do something fun together. That's like really nice to have.
It's weird because normally I'm a very quiet person.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Right? So I don't really, I don't know. It took me a while to come out of my shell. But when I did find the right people, which is like the 6 people that I game with on a regular basis, the shit that we talk about and the shit that we say, it's so disgusting. Like I was telling, I think it was on the first, it was on the first episode podcast that we, I was like, if my brothers were to hear me talking like this, they'd be like, who the hell is this? Because, just a totally different person when I'm with them. They bring out the child in me, and I think that's something that I've never experienced before, like ever.
Well, and I think there's something that comes with that, like being able to talk about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And even like as like little kids, like talking about being like a little kid, laughing about farts and poops and stuff like that. like
That's
just
on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah.
And I remember going over to someone's house a couple years ago, and like they have a family with like kids, and then my kids were all there, and I don't know, in my family we laughed about farts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But then so we're like sitting down and eating, and somebody like farted, like one of their kids did, and I was like, ha ha ha, and I was like thought it was so funny and cracked a joke or something, and everybody was just silent and like serious, and I was like, ooh, that was like really awkward. And then later I found out someone came and they're like, they're not allowed, nobody talks about farts in their family. Or like they don't laugh about farts, they just ignore everybody. And I was like, what, really? Where's the fun in that? Yeah. But everybody's different.
To each their own.
To each their own, right? Exactly.
Yeah. But, I don't know, I just, when I saw this reel about Geminis, and I think I shared it. Each person that a Gemini meets, and I don't know if this is true with like anybody, like any other sign or whatever, but I feel like I do have a personality for each individual person that I meet.
Oh, yeah.
So with my best friend Jeanette, for example, like her and we can sit and laugh and laugh and laugh and talk about the most disgusting things and like turn darkness into humor and like just be ourselves. And then Chinoa, I'm a totally different way with her. Like everything is that's what she said kind of mentality. Like we're just silly like that. Who else? Somebody else that kind of like is toned down just a little bit. I don't know.
Well, it's just neat because you can then be like the different aspects of yourself just with like different people.
I feel like I feel like it's has a lot to do with adapting to the environment. Because Gemini is known for that. They can walk into a room, and if you're hooping and hollering, Gemini's hooping and hollering too. But if you walk into a room and it's just quiet and everybody's serious, you're laughing on the inside and trying not to laugh. But I don't know if I'm explaining that in a way that describes a Gemini, but that's normal. I think it is anyway. I don't know.
I have my one daughter is a Gemini. I'm kind of fairly new to the whole signs and all the characteristics. Yeah. But as I like read it, it's so interesting. Yeah. Because like it is so true that like I'm a Virgo, and whenever I meet another Virgo, it's like, yeah, that's so weird that we have this connection. We kind of knew that we had that connection. Yeah. And then we're like, oh, you're a Virgo? I'm not surprised.
That's why.
Yeah, that's and you probably feel that way too when you meet other Gemini.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, there's
when you
two
meet other signs with the same sign.
Yeah. People. Two gamers that I regularly game with. I just found out are Geminis, and
see,
yeah, like the connection there is stupid crazy.
Yeah, because I think you have like this kind of understanding of each other. But yeah, it's weird. People I meet that are Virgos, I'm just like, oh, we're all just kind of similar to Virgos.
It's weird too because my auntie, she's a Gemini, and she's like a mom to me, you know, like, and I've told her that many times growing up that she was always there for us. My mom, my mom's sister.
Yeah.
But she's a Gemini. She's June 20th, and her and I, we could sit there and have the most ridiculous conversation, but understand each other.
Yeah.
And everybody else on the outside are like, you guys are talking gibberish. What the hell are you saying? You know,
Yeah.
But we understand each other.
Oh, that's so
It's
special.
weird. Same with Peter. Peter's a Gemini too.
Oh, he's a Gemini
Yeah.
too. Oh, that's crazy.
When he first
cool.
came in, and I have this bad habit of having a conversation in my head, and then mid-conversation, I'll start talking about it out loud, and people are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
They don't understand. Like, oh, you weren't here for the beginning of this conversation. But with Peter, he's like, oh, yeah, I get it. I'm like, you get me? He's like, yeah, I get you. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I know sometimes sometimes I feel like I'm kind of clueless sometimes. I don't know, like, or sometimes my brain just switches paths all of a sudden, and I go from talking about one thing to something else.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, then whoever's listening is like, we're talking about something else now. I'm like, oh yeah, we're talking about something else. I was talking about this, and then I switched to that. And
yeah, 10 conversations.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Goodness.
It was so warm yesterday.
It was.
I went to drop my truck off at the shop, and when I got in my truck, it said 23. I was like, oh, it's dress season. I saw some lady in town wearing a dress. I'm like, because it's so cold in the canyon when I leave, it's still like, I don't know, 7, 9 up there.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And the other day, my truck was frosted.
Yeah.
And then the day after, it was like nice and sunny. It was nice and warm, and weather system up there is just got a mind of its own.
Yeah, that's the same with that fountain where I live. It just, it was icy as well, and like cold. It was funny. I planted garlic in the fall. It's this huge garlic, like really big, close. It's wonderful. So this is the second year that we planted this garlic, and it's starting to come up. I had been checking, but I hadn't seen it come up. But Jesse went and checked it. I was driving into Lillooet, and he sends them to me, but I don't look at my phone. I have like on my vehicle, like the screen there, and it has my messages, and it'll read the messages back to me.
Oh, yeah.
So he sent it to me, and it says, Jesse sent an image of a insect on hay. I was like, what the heck? An insect on hay? I'm like, well, I can't check right now because I'm driving, so I keep driving. And I get to my parents, and I open up to see the picture, and here it is. It's a little sprout of garlic and the straw. And I'm like, oh, that's the insect. I was like, AI thought it was an insect.
So smart. AI
Yeah,
so
it was just funny. I remember thinking, why would he be sending me a picture of an insect on hay? So it was kind of funny. But I'm so glad the garlic's coming up, and that spring is here, and it's getting warm. And playing soccer yesterday, I was just like shorts and a tank top. But then when we went to the games afterwards and they played in the sun went behind the mountain, it got cold. Yeah. And here I am standing in shorts, and I'm like bouncing up and down trying to like stay warm. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It was so late. All the kids were just like cranky and trying to go to bed. And didn't even get a shower. I had to put the baby to sleep, and it was already like 11 o'clock already at night, and I was just like, I'm exhausted. I'm just going to go to sleep.
Yeah. It's like that in the summertime, too. When the sun goes down, it's cold. I remember last year it was August, I believe. No, it was August, I think. I don't know, somewhere around there. Still summertime. And I was out golfing with my boss, and we're getting ready for a tournament out in Whistler, and it was so hot when we got out there. I was like, I felt overdressed, but I had to wear the whole golf attire and everything. Right. But as soon as the sun went down, both of us were sitting there like just freezing, and we're maybe halfway done,
Mm-hmm.
or we had like 6 holes left or something like that. And I had this skinny little jacket. It's like a windbreaker kind of jacket,
Oh, yeah.
which made it worse because it felt like a cooler inside of it.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I just threw it on anyway, and Andrea's like jumping up and down. She's like, it's so cold out. I'm like, do you want my jacket? She's like, no, I'm good. And you could see like the goosebumps from like here to the doorway. I'm like, it's here. Yeah.
You look very cold. Yeah, actually, that side of the river, the sun goes down faster on that side. Like,
The
since
sheep
moving
pasture.
to this area.
Plus, it's right beside the river too.
Yeah, and it's right by the river.
Yeah.
No, it just depends, like, where you are. Like, I know with the sun coming up and then it going down,
Mm-hmm.
depending on where you are, it's like all a different, even in town between where my parents live up by, you know, up on the heights and then down to Conway, it's like completely different where the sun hits, like almost an hour different. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But, which is not how it was like on the prairies when I was a kid growing up in Alberta. It was just like, the sky is just so big.
Yeah.
And here I had a bit of time getting used to just this narrow canyon to live in.
Yeah.
Like when the clouds would settle heavy, I felt almost claustrophobic. But now I just love it. I mean, BC is just beautiful.
Yeah.
And like the Stallion Territory is just, I think, the most beautiful place in Canada. It's just,
I love the mountains. Yes. Like I grew up here, graduated here in Lalowit, and back then I didn't really care about that kind of stuff. But now that I'm commuting back and forth between here and Marble Canyon, and every single day I'm just staring at the mountains. Yeah. I just can't get enough of it. Like, it's majestic. It is. Like, it's so pretty, and they're freaking huge. Like, these mountains are freaking huge. Like, you go half an hour down the road to like Cache Creek, Ashcroft. They're hills. They're not mountains.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like dirt hills. Yeah. And sage. There's not many trees out there or anything like that. Right. It's weird how much of a difference that is.
Yeah, not very far far from each other. And even, between, the Northern Territory and the Southern Territory, there's such a big difference in climate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's so beautiful. I just love it.
Yeah, down in Mount Currie, where I spent about 10 years after graduating, after going to school, and I think I was like 21 when I moved down there. And the summertime is super pretty. Like, it's nice and green and my favorite color. So it's like, I don't know, everything is bright and alive, and you know what I mean? And then in the wintertime, I remember being a kid and going down to visit my grandparents, and the snowbanks were like 8 feet high, 10 feet high. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, it used to snow like crazy down there. Now they're lucky enough to get like a couple of inches.
Yeah, it's true.
What she said.
Yeah.
But one Christmas I spent down there, it was Christmas Day. Everything was closed. We do everything on Christmas Eve. Like, we have our dinner and then open gifts and everything like that. And then Christmas Day is like a time to relax and spend more time with family. Like, we do Christmas breakfast and lunch and stuff like that. But I remember waking up and it was muddy out. Like, there was no snow on the ground. The ground wasn't frozen. There was no frost, nothing. And it was insanely dangerous, I guess, because down there, the snow caps on the mountains, they hung out all year. The snow caps, they were always there. And now, like, by June, July, they're gone. It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the differences over the years have changed a lot. Even just in the just over 20 years that I've lived here in the Lillooet-Lytton area, it's changed quite a bit.
Yeah. We did career fair up at the high school. Speaking of growing up and graduating here. It was so neat because we had our booth, IT and communications, and the idea was to show students or youth or like just people in general what kind of jobs are around within the nation, and try to encourage them to go out there and get their education or their experience and bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back to Statlium. I'm hungry. And that's what I did. So I left home when I was 19. Moved down to the city. Did travel and tourism while I was down there. Went to school for travel and tourism out in Surrey. And then ended up moving home. I did a bartending course. I don't drink. I've never been intoxicated. I hate the smell of alcohol sometimes, but I try to get a job afterward. I was like 19, 20 years old out there trying to get a job in a bar or whatever, and nobody would hire me because I didn't have any experience, and I don't drink, so that was a bust. It was fun though, learning the different types of drinks.
To mix up.
Yeah. And then did business fundamentals. I was already in an office setting at that time, but I learned like everything accounting and business English and all that kind of stuff. And then continued working in an office until I went to fashion design school. And that was really interesting. I really liked that. There was costume history. I really loved that. My favorite is the Renaissance era. I freaking love everything Renaissance.
Yes. Yeah.
Part of my tattoo up here is going to be like floral Renaissance around the rose. And I didn't even pick that. She picked that. My tattoo artist picked it. I was like, how did you know? But there was also, we had computer class, and we learned about the different areas of fashion that you can get into, and one of them being in IT, not just IT, but as a designer on like CAD and everything. That was very interesting, and that was my presentation was on IT and designing, web designing, all that kind of stuff, and which reignited that interest that I had in IT.
Yeah.
Because after fashion design, I finally picked up IT. But the point is, when I was at the school, the high school, there were so many students that came up and asked me, how did you get interested in your career? And I was like, right here. It started right here in this high school. And they're like, really? That's so cool. Like they start, their faces lit up. And I was like, I took Infotech 11 and 12 and built a web page. And that's where it started. I was like, the coding that it takes to build a web page, where does that go? And how does that, how does that appear on your monitor? What does it take to think, or what does it take for a computer to think? Like what components does it take? And it's so complicated. Being in it for 12 years now, like I understand it, but if I'm trying to explain that to somebody else, I was just talking to my Auntie Linda about that too. She's like, you're so good at your job. I'm like, am I? I was like, I don't really feel like I am sometimes, because I'm so horrible at explaining things. It's explaining things in a way that people understand, like just
taking the complex and turning it into something simpler.
Because for me, the way that I learned, well, the way anybody learns, like your what's it called? Your acronyms and your language within any career is what I know.
Right. Yeah.
And to be able to translate that is super difficult for me.
Yeah, it's a breaking down. It's a process, and the whole point of a career path, talking to high school students and those younger, or whoever's on their pathway or journey through their career is the building blocks, and it just takes steps. And sometimes you find things that don't work for you, and other times they do, and you learn a little bit more, and then you kind of plateau, and then learn a little more, and then and like when it comes to like computer things and more complex things, like while it's nice to simplify it, it doesn't give it justice than to just like actually go and learn the complex matters and all of that. It's kind of like looking at a picture opposed to actually being there, right? And I think that's where like IT is it's a kind of you appreciate it more like when you're in it. But well, you appreciate it. I think on the outset, people, I mean, we use it every day, but we take for granted the fact that there are people who've taken the time to learn how it works and how to help you like to succeed in that area. Because to be honest, every career almost, I think, utilizes technology in a certain way, and it's but yet it's the most overlooked like job, because looking even in our small town, everything's outsourced. And it's so neat that like here at LTC, you guys have got your in-house IT and you've been building it. And it's amazingly so much better, you know, when you have that one-on-one contact and help. Because I know any of us probably hates having to call up on a phone and try and get help that way, right? But being able to like learn those skills one by one and then being able to help other people with that, I think that's just, it's just like so amazing. And like it needs to be like more out there. Hopefully, like, you know, I'm excited you guys went to the career fair. Because hopefully there will be more young people that'll pick up on that and be like, you know what, I want to try IT because that was a really good career path to take.
And you can branch out to, there's so much that you can do in IT. So much
like
that
you
can
were saying,
do.
even towards like design or different things like that. It's so
drones.
Huge.
Like our office here, we have drones. There's 3 people that are qualified to operate drones. And it's on an emergency basis kind of thing.
Oh, okay, nice.
And the high school is actually doing some sort of training on drones, but it's not the kind of training that you get certified in.
Oh, okay.
It's the tiny little ones that you can fly around.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Like inside in buildings and stuff. But even those ones are powerful. Up at the career fair, Dalen had he had 2 of them, the small one and the big one. And he fired the small one up and lifted off. All of my papers that I had sitting on my table went flying.
Oh no!
And they were like from media away from the drone. I'm like, that little thing is powerful.
It is,
That's
right?
what she said.
That's what she said. Yeah. I've thought of it a couple times and didn't say it. I was like, oh.
But it was interesting, like all of the other questions that kept coming up. What's some advice, or what's one piece of advice that you would give a high school student going out into the career fair or the career path and all that kind of stuff? And I said, just make sure that you experience everything that you can, not just in life, not just in your personal life, but in your professional life too. Like, and I told them pretty much everything that I've done to get to this point. I said I have the office background that allowed me to be comfortable with projects, like project coordinator and then eventually project manager, and now being an IT manager. That was one thing that when I got hired on with the BC Lottery Corporation, they said that the reason why they chose me as a service coordinator is because I have that technical background and I have that office background.
Right.
And they said that they hardly come across people with both backgrounds that can be organized and manage and all that kind of stuff, like manage queues but it was pretty nostalgic being up there,
Mm-hmm.
seeing all these high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my fellow graduates, he was up there and he was helping set up. And I was like, how many of us graduated in our year in 2002?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 104. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? He's like, no. I was like, I thought it was like 75. He's like, no, it was 104.
Uh-huh.
He said, we're the largest graduating class in LSS.
Mm-hmm.
He said, still to this day, we're the largest. I was like, that is crazy.
Oh, wow, that's like historical.
Yeah.
Like, historical moment.
It
Cool.
was crazy. And the reason why I brought that up is because one of our classmates just passed away not too long ago. From cancer. I remember there was a fundraiser out in Kamloops, a fundraiser for him because he was going through chemo and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just being up there and having all of these memories flowing in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted to go and walk the halls, but I didn't at the same time because just too much memories. But being outside, I'm like, go to the trail. I'm like, I used to get in trouble for being down there. Like, every day, our teachers would come down there and look for us, and sure enough, they'd scoot us back to class or whatever. And like being out in the field or just like hanging out out in the front area by the parking lot. I have this one picture of me and my best friend Sandra and Dustin, I think. And then there's Luke, the one that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking behind, his middle finger in the air, and he's like smiling, cheek to cheek, and yeah, it was awesome. But
That's amazing.
so much memories up there, so much good memories up there. It was nice to kind of take a trip down memory lane. Yeah. And then going out to the field too, or like parking by the field. I was like, I remember my graduation. Like, my parents were here, my brother was here. I remember getting my pictures taken with my mom and dad out in the field, and it being like the most happiest day.
Graduation. Yeah. I would agree. I feel like my kids will be very happy too once they graduate.
Yeah.
Like, it is a happy day. It's an accomplishment.
It's like one of your first ones, right? That you can remember.
Yeah. And I mean, if you think about it, it's like 13 years of your life.
Yeah.
That you get through with a bunch of your friends.
Yeah.
And that day that you celebrate that. And yet at the same time, like, I remember it being sad because you kind of knew that there were some people you probably wouldn't see again.
Yeah.
At least, like, when I graduated from Fountain View and everybody came from a different country. So there's many people that I never got to see again afterwards. But I think in general, you know, that those nostalgic memories of high school, those high school years and graduating, like, they all kind of culminate in that day. And that's like a pinpoint right there. Just, yeah.
And it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
But I remember our Grand March and everything, it being so freaking long because there were so many of us.
Did you have to walk slow?
Yeah.
Oh, they made you walk like
yeah. And then on stage too, there was like, I don't even know how many rows of us students on stage.
Yeah.
And then they had the heated lamps on us and everything, and we're wearing polyester
and it's like middle of summer.
Yeah. But
yeah,
it was fun. I remember like sitting up there fanning myself and like taking my cap off and fanning myself.
Yeah.
I remember my mom coming up and like giving me some water and like a cookie or something like that, because it was super long.
Yeah.
And our principal at the time, Mr. Gregory, he all year he kept telling us, it's a fire hazard, you guys aren't allowed to throw your caps.
Oh, for real?
At the end of graduation. We're so mad at him for that. And then the last part of his speech, he's like, okay, graduates, I've got a surprise for you. He said, I want all of you guys to take your caps off and just hold it there for a little while, like look at your cap and feel the sense of accomplishment with your graduation and everything. And then he sat there quiet for a few seconds, and he's like, and throw it in the air, and everybody like
Yay!
threw their caps in the air, and it was such a, I don't know, a happy moment to be able to do that after being told all year that we weren't able to.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, everybody was just woohooing, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, actually, they have the cap throwing is a lot of fun. I kind of wonder where that originated from, actually. Like now, I like want to look it up. But yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Wow, 104.
104 graduates.
For a small
and
town.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, in such a small ass town like this.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Yeah, actually, I was in Osoyoos this last weekend, and Osoyoos is a small town too, but not as small. And just chatting with people there. We were at a swimming pool, and there was a slide, and it was like so much fun. But the slide, we were planning on going to a different hotel, but we ended up at this one. I was glad we were, because the slide was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But Jesse had on these shorts that were like, I don't know, they were just kind of more like regular shorts, and they slowed him down on the slide.
Oh, yeah.
But then with my swimsuit, I just flew down the slide and
Plus
went rocketing off the end of the slide, like rocketing like this off the slide.
Yeah.
And he was like, how come I'm just like barely going? I'm like, he's like so slow. But then, so we went once in the afternoon and in the evening again, but he put his swim shorts on, and then he went flying too. Yeah. But the kids had so much fun, and the little ones were like sitting on our lap, and because it would go so fast, then sometimes their heads would get all like wet and stuff. But I was like, oh no, are they gonna cry or be upset? But they had so much fun. Even the little ones were just like laughing and stuff, and us adults are just like, oh my goodness, like trying to like get our footing. Yeah. And there were so many little kids. I just was like, oh my stars, like we used to be little kids, and now we're all old and grown up.
All grown up. It's strange to think about that though, because like when like your kids, for example, there's Peter. Your kids, for example, like when you were that age, your parents were your age.
Yeah, that's so weird to think about.
It's so weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I've like thought, like I have 6 kids, and I'm like so done. But I'm like, I wish there was just a switch where you could just switch on or off. And someone at the pool was like, are you pregnant? I'm like, no, do I look like I'm pregnant? Like, this is ridiculous. Like 6 is enough. It's enough. But I think people are quite like surprised when they meet me, and they're like, you have 6 kids? I'm like, yeah, and my oldest is like 14, almost 15. He's gonna be 15 soon. Aww. But just like navigating the teen years, now that I've got a couple of them going into their teen years, has been really interesting, because like you just modify. Actually, I really enjoy having teens. Like I have a lot of fun. I feel like I'm so lucky, because I have this like huge range of like ages between like 1 to 15. Aww. That they're all just so different in their own way, and they're just fun.
Their own person.
Yeah, it's neat, and that's the thing. Like I'm trying to be a parent that I'm supporting them wherever their interests lie. In Dawson, it's soccer, and so like I've been trying to support him with that. And growing up in the super religious religion that I was in, it was considered sinful to have playing competitive sports. And so he doesn't have a whole lot of support from that side, which I mean that is a whole other topic about leaving a super religious like environment and stepping back. And now as my kids get older, I want them to experience life and not be afraid or think that failure is the end. Like they can be like, it's okay, like to mess up and then get up and try again. And I think, I don't remember if I talked about it, I probably did, but even playing soccer, if you told 12-year-old me that I would be playing soccer when I'm 40, almost 40, I would have laughed at you, because I was so scared to play soccer when I was a kid. I was scared of being bad and not knowing how to play. And now as I'm older, I don't really care about being bad. I just go and have fun. And I wish I could have like encouraged young me to take more risks and to just be like, you know what, that's okay. Even if I'm not that great about it, I can still have a good time. Instead, I spent so much of my younger years feeling insecure about myself and not, just stepping out and trying it. So
so much shelter when because you don't know anything when you're a kid, experiences. At the career fair, one of the students again asked me, what kind of advice would you give students going out into graduating, and I said, take everything as an experience rather than a failure. I said, there's so many students out there that go out there and they choose a career path, or they choose an education path, and they get there and they discover that it's not for them. I'm like, take that experience and learn from it, and you'll be able to identify in the future if this is for you or not. It's not a failure.
It's not. In fact, you can even learn skills in an area that you're not so great in, that even if you don't continue pursuing that direction, you're still learning something important. And then you might step back and, go a different way.
I feel like absolutely everything that you're faced with comes with a lesson, a learning experience. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, you could be having the worst day and find something good about it. I remember this one time I was really sick. So I was off work. It wasn't like a cold, or it wasn't a flu or anything. It was allergies.
Oh, yeah.
And I was super groggy and all that kind of stuff. And the whole world was just against me.
It's just like drab. And
yeah. But I got to hang out with one of my friends that I was dating at the time. And that was the good that I pulled out of it. Like, I was sick. I missed work. But I got to hang out with him. So that's the positive in it. So I believe that absolutely everything that you face has some sort of positive takeaway. You just got to find it.
It's easy to have like the negative parts overpower everything. And while
especially
it's good to
if your mind is there all the time, there's something deep rooted that needs to be looked at.
I know for me, like with like being a stay-at-home mom, well, like I look back and I love my times just being a stay-at-home mom. I found like myself in like dark places, just kind of, I don't know, it just, while I loved my kids and everything, it just was too much, or like it was really difficult. But then, like, as a, talking about career paths, just a life path in general is something we can create. So whether it's our career or lives in general, and I'm thankful for my family because I can have my home life and my kids, and also have a career as well, and work, and that works really well for me. I enjoy that, and it makes me tick. And for other people, they just like being stay-at-home moms, and it's just everybody's different. Find what works for you, find what you like to do, and then go for it. So
but
it's time we need to probably wrap it up.
Well, hopefully this one works this time.
And if not, we'll try again. But and if anybody has other topics that they'd like to discuss or comments, leave them in the comments.
Or if you'd like to join us, the door is open.
We are open to guests.
But good conversations today.
Awesome.
Good laughs. I feel like it wasn't as heavy as the first one. The first one was kind of heavy, and that was I don't want to always talk about the heavy stuff.
Well, I think that everything comes when it needs to.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm like, I find you such an inspiration, all that you've been through.
Thank you.
And your healing journey. And whenever I've been low, you've just, for some reason, you'll pop up on like Facebook in your video or something, or you'll post something, and it just brings me back to like
right on.
feeling better.
Yeah.
Like, even in the midst of like something shitty going on, it's just like, you know.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I just want to make a change in this world for real. Like, I was talking to somebody about it. Like, all of the quotes that I post on my stories or on Facebook or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going through it, but it's, to me, I feel like it's inspiring, and somebody could use a little pep talk or something. You know, life doesn't always have to be difficult or hard or against you or whatever. Like, there's so much happiness that you can tie yourself to. Like, I don't know, for me it's gaming. So, and people, when they first meet me and they're like, oh, what do you do for fun? I'm like, I'm a gamer. They're like, what, really? I'm like, yeah. Oh, what do you do for work? I'm in IT. Oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. You know, like the two and two kind of go together.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I really hope that I make some sort of difference in people's lives after coming out of the shit that I've been through. For real. Like, I don't know, I don't want to hold what I know just to myself. Like, I feel like if everybody knew or went through what I went through, we'd all be happy. Probably not true, but that's, I don't know, it took me a while to get out of this depression that I was in, and I'm so thankful for the way that it happened, like the transition in which it happened in, and where I'm at now. Yeah. I love my life right now. I freaking love my life. It's so simple, but I freaking love it. Like, yeah, I love going home to nap, and I love getting out and waking up and doing it all over again. That's my life.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, well, until next week.
No small talk.
It's too big.
Thanks for joining. Bye.
Bye.